Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I'm just gonna support this a little bit better and get everything in nice color and array. Thank you guys for all your beautiful and positive feedback with your amazing comments and everything. I was just so blown away by, the touching sentiments and everything. So many amazing things are happening right now. It's like I felt from the second I woke up just absolutely bursting with energy and enthusiasm and being excited for life, every little thing. And then I realized there were a couple things that are going on right now. Neptune conjuncts with Venus, and this conjunction means that the energies of these two planets are combined because they come to the same point. As a result, both energies are strengthened. And as we know, Venus is a beautiful, flirtatious, loving, warm energy. And this really is a magical opportunity to get rewarded if we put in the work and we manifest it. We want to receive what we want. We must master how we think and how we act right now. It doesn't take a lot. This conjunction is a shift of motion and bringing what we perceive as priorities and things we want to accomplish really into focus, and we're able to do it with a lot more ease and enthusiasm too, and keep up that enthusiasm because as mutable fire sign, I know that I can be just so interested in something one moment and then I'm like, oh, it just fizzles out because I'll have an intensity for it and I'll do it for hours, jewelry making, whatever it is, and then I'll be like, wow, I need a breather. Even the most enjoyable thing, if we do it to excess, can seem like hard work if we don't give ourselves breaks, right? Even, creating, we need a breather and to just kind of zone out. So we're given a chance to move away from the suffering past right now to transit towards better realities, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. We just need to embrace our worth and what we deserve. Watch how you carry yourself, because our thoughts and behaviors are going to start to manifest from that, right? If we're all hunched over and we're like, oh, we're so tired, or if we have an aggressive stance, our mind starts to follow that physical stance that we're setting. So again, we want to remember to smile and feel loose and free and happy and connected to our best possible selves. So we feel that. Just one moment. I am going to have a sip of water. I just got back from the gym, and while I had these ideas, I wanted to really tap in and jump in because I want to do a reading about what messages are coming from our future best possible selves. Also, it's like we're going to reach points where we never ever thought that we would make it to that threshold, to that peak of that mountain, to that success. And all that's happening is you guys are recognizing your worth, your value. You're saying, why in the world would I listen to anybody that says I can't do something? They don't have my fortitude. They don't have my grit. They don't have my focus. They don't have my dreams, my wherewithal. They don't understand. So why in the world would I value their input if it's negative? You know what I mean? And I always ask myself that too. If somebody interjects negatively, what are they? They're not there to support, and they're not there for growth and your ascension. It's clearly the opposite. So sometimes when your light is very bright and people aren't awake and people aren't aware, they'll try to dim that because it seems threatening or it seems like it'll overshadow them. And they're not necessarily coming from a place of malice or meanness. It's more a kind of ignorance of everybody has their time to shine and elevate and ascend and do their best. We all go through fallow and we all go through feast. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. I think the best sort of parallel to this is a chessboard. Any great chess player knows you don't just make forward moves to win. You can't just go forward, because then you're spread thin and you're very vulnerable. So in life, it's like that too. We have to take steps back and take steps to the side and slow down and evaluate. We can't just charge forward motion continually. We have to take a pause, step back, and really say, okay, where are we at? Where are my strengths? Where do I feel supported? Where do I want to make my next move, right? We're evaluating now. And this is a course for a lot of people right now. And it's a weird kind of premise that just because we're not moving forward, we're not making progress. And the opposite is true. Often, fools just rush in and let's just do this. And there's haphazardness, there's chaos, there's lack of for planning, which is now what we're really interested in, planning for our future. So what would our best, highest future self tell us in terms of where we're going, why they're proud of us, what strides we'll be making, what they feel watching over us? Because I feel like our best, highest ascended self is also the same how spirit and our guides would feel about what we're doing. And if we make any move in life and we're proud of ourselves because we're dealing with others honestly, and we are absolutely coming from a pure heart space, and we're trying to think of the collective, our family, our everything, our animals, our neighborhood, everything all together, and it doesn't come from a singular purpose, how we can advance, but how individually, but how we as a collective can advance and take somebody on this beautiful ride. And that being said, my good friend Cherry, an artistic genius, is coming out with her 2 decks. She has her Flesh Tarot, and I just got them today. I was so excited. And here's her information as well if you ever want to connect with her. It's Art Lady, and I think it's JAS at yahoo.com. It's right at the bottom of the tin there. I have to hold things further away so people can see. And I'm going to use these tomorrow. Today I'm going to use her fantastically beautiful and clever Enchanted Embrace Oracle, which I love. And, she is a phenomenal... If you guys haven't seen Cherry Enchantress, she's a YouTube... reader that is phenomenal, and she specializes in, I feel like, love and charms, and just everything about her reads are very uplifting and loving and caring and sweet. So go check her out, and I'm going to be using her Enchanted Embrace oracles today. I love these so much. I just had a chance to glance through them today. I don't know why my days are getting fuller and fuller and busier. I'm really trying to just gear back a little bit, but at the end of the month always just seems to get like that. So I'm very excited. Cherry, thank you so much for sending me these decks. I'm going to do tomorrow's read with these. I'm so excited. I only opened the box, and I was like, I like to, like most artists, really envelop myself in the art and look and go slowly. It's like a great food, a great dish. You want to savor it, and it's like I don't want to just charge through. So I wanted to see what was going on with their Enchanted Embrace Oracle deck first, and we're going to use those today too. And we're going to also find out through those what your future love wants you to know, what your soulmate is thinking of and wants you to know as well. So let's start with the 3 choices. We have Spider-Woman, Co-Creation, we have Athena, Knowledge, and we have Epona, Wise Leadership. So I'm going to give you a moment to look at those. I'm going to take a deep breath and relax for a moment because I'm going a little... I am going a little fast today and being like supercharged, and I'm trying to just really take it easy and savor moments and put my focused energy into reads and my undivided attention into each person as I deal with them in their readings. And I feel like that's a way that we can help ourselves mentally, physically, and otherwise. One thing at a time, done well with our absolute focus, love, attention, and just a light hand. Like, we're not trying to push or charge through anything. We're just kind of letting things occur beautifully and calmly, and it's so much better for our health and well-being. We stop, we pause, we meditate on each thing, we savor, we have gratitude, right? It's like one of those things, if you have 20 packages that come from Amazon all at once, you're almost overwhelmed. Instead of looking forward to opening them, it seems like a hardship because it's like an embarrassment of riches. It's too much. So one thing at a time is always better. We do it with ease. We really get to give it our undivided attention. Okay. So thirsty. Whenever I come home from the gym, I'm like, So let's start with co-creation right away. I'm hearing that your future self is saying they're so proud of you because you're the only person responsible for your success. The best part of your life will start the day you decide your life is your own. No one to rely on, no one to blame. You're in full control of your future. And they're proud of you because you actually take the steering wheel on this. You realize this. You realize that people in the outside world and opinions can only affect you insofar as you allow them to, right? It's the same premise of Eleanor Roosevelt's nobody can insult or harm you unless you give them permission. I learned a long time ago not to do that. And it's funny how I think that's where a lot of my confidence and and everything stems from, I'm not hindered by anybody could pretty much say anything to me, and I don't take it personally. I realize everybody has a different perspective. Some people cherish and love and go batshit crazy for big crowds. They love the energy, and then other people are utterly repulsed. They're freaked out. They're scared, and they get anxiety by it, right? One person's dream can be another person's nightmare. Same for somebody's personality, their style, whatever. So because everybody is allowed to have personal choices, it's like, just don't take anything personally. It saves you so much angst. I never go back in time too and go, oh, why did I don't try to analyze conversations and look for people either insulting me or the way I live or my values or ideas or anything like that. I don't look for it. I don't look for any kind of argument. And usually there isn't one. And the reason that people do argue is somebody reads into it wrong. Their ego jumps in and says, oh, this person was trying to slander you by saying this and that. You know what I mean? It makes it more about them and their image and all that. And most of the time, that's just absolutely not true. So your future self wants you to know you're going to be involved in these beautiful co-creations with people and ultimately becoming very successful because you're the only person that you're listening to, and that's important. That doesn't mean we don't take other people's thoughts, ideas, and everything into consideration. We just don't let it derail us if it doesn't jive with ours. I'm trying to keep the cat off. So another thing they're saying, you don't have to invent the wheel. Lots of success was found on taking something already existing and simply putting their own twist and unique selling proposition on it. So you don't have to, again, start something. Yeah, you can have fresh new ideas, but can be a different take on something that already exists, right? Like there are thousands and thousands of people on YouTube that are tarot readers, but everybody has a very special perspective, style, and intuitive kind of read and take on things, right? Like some people are very positive. Some people are just relationship based. Some people are very just like solely predictive. And some people are, they're willing to give you the resources to use to get to these places. Everybody has a different skill set, a different take on things. And that's what's so cool, because we didn't have to invent tarot. We didn't have to invent, speaking about inspirational issues. It already existed, but we have our own special take on it. So again, if you're doing anything, you don't have to invent the wheel. And another thing I'm hearing too with this co-creation, failure is part of life. It's necessary. If what you did today didn't turn out as you hoped, tomorrow's definitely a new opportunity to do it differently. Interpret each failure as a lesson on the road to success. And your future self wants to know you are getting there, and don't be down on yourself. Again, we don't go from novice to expert. When I began what I'm doing now on camera, I spoke extraordinarily fast because that's how I channel and that's how the messages were coming. And I didn't modify my speech to match normal human hearing capacity. I really was ridiculous. And most of my most of my audience is from all over the world, so English isn't even their first language. So I had all these sweet people go, please go slow. I only understood one word out of that, and it was, I can speak so fast it doesn't even sound like English. And that's really how I began. And it's so funny and comical to think of it now. So again, don't be hard on yourself, and don't think that, you can't do something because the first or second try, it's not perfect. And again, we're not aiming for perfectionism because that just doesn't gel well. When we are trying to be perfectionistic, that's the ego saying, oh, if it doesn't have this absolute polish and shine and glow on it, nobody's going to be interested. That's not true. In fact, I find most times the opposite is true. When things are very human and things are very real, just like I loved the premise of actually putting a flaw in a piece of art or something because it showed the humanity of it, right? Because we weren't trying to look like something came off a professional electronic loom, but that we did it by hand. All of those things. I like the humanity. I love when people have funny, quirky flaws. Like I love crazy teeth, and I just love original looking people. If everything was so perfect, it would be surreal. And I've got to tell you, a lot of people are skeptical of that too. It's almost that thing where it's like, we challenge ourselves daily to become better, right? But I never strive for perfectionism, because once you hit that, there's still another level of perfect to go to if you really think about it, right? I mean, you could have every hair in place, you could have all your makeup perfect, your outfit perfect, your boots, your bag, everything. And to you, and that probably took hours and hours of effort. But I always feel uncomfortable if I am so, like, you know, like if you're going to the Oscars or the Emmys or the Met Gala or something, if you're so in this costume, it makes things more stiff and unnatural. But if you put somebody like in a tracksuit and sneakers, they're acting a lot more natural in that state. So it's one of those things where it's like, let yourself be you. Don't try to be anything, and don't try to think that you need to be perfect or look or be a certain way for people to like you, because you're already very well loved. Now, I want to really jump into these cards and see that what your future love is saying. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. So to me, this reads as they're sorry when you were having issues, when you were feeling abandoned, when you were feeling lonely, when you were feeling hardships in your life. They are sorry they couldn't get to you, that they weren't in that part of the world, that they weren't in that energy realm with you, that they weren't in your circumference to be able to physically get to. As you know, our soulmates come back century after century after century, decade after decade. But what happens is there's different timelines. So we go through such hardships sometimes within our life. We have these huge peaks and valleys, and they want you to know that, you know, they could feel your angst. They could feel what was happening, and they're sorry that they couldn't get to you. Oh, that's so sweet. Here's something else. I have to hide my feelings for you. So you may, when your soulmate, if you have yet to meet them, they could be somebody that you work with, somebody that you're in school with. And what happens, you're in a certain kind of environment where they feel like they have to withhold their feelings because they're not sure of how appropriate it is for the environment in which you are together. They could be friends of the family, they could be an instructor, they could be, you know, your professor. And also, I feel like they have a slight intimidation of who you are, your bearing. You know, you feel rather regal and elevated to them. So they want to be able to feel the waters and feel how their approach would be accepted, right? Because a lot of people have insecurities. There is a place. Will you meet me there? Oh, so they're asking, there's going to be this energy exchange, this communication, this kind of ethereal communication where all of a sudden, usually in the dreamscape, and this is happening to a lot of people. I must have had like 4 or 5 people that said today, oh my gosh, Melanie, I'm having these dreams, A, B, and C happen. And it was really wild. So they're asking you in this kind of alternate plane if you'll meet there and connect, if you will speak to them. That's enough as well, just speaking out loud to them, writing things down, purposely trying to bring them into your dreamscape, all of that, so you can connect. That's really beautiful. I love that so much, Cherry. These are so beautiful. Again, these are her enchanted embrace. And at the end, I'll do a quick flip through as well. So one last message from your future self is saying, you have to believe that you can. You have to find the place inside yourself where anything is possible. It really starts with a dream. Dreams become realities with commitment, action, determination, and time, right? We have to allow, again, everybody is so quick to be like, okay, I don't know much about this, but I should be an expert in a couple of days, or I should know everything. Everything takes time. In fact, the more time it takes, like wine, like good cheeses, all of that, it's the development process, it's the enrichment process, it's the honing of one's craft, all of that. If you guys would have seen some of the first pieces of jewelry that I made, like when I first started and I didn't understand how to really secure the clasps, and I would strand a whole beautiful piece, and because I didn't have everything cinched correctly, everything would just slide off the end because I didn't want to cinch it too tightly, because I always had this weird fear that the line wire would break, so I wouldn't do the cinch everything off super tightly. And like, I can't tell you how many necklaces where everything would just end up on the floor and I'd be like, I was like, one day I'm going to get the exact right. But also I wasn't using the proper tools too. There are professional tools that work just the right amount of pressure, things like that. So know and allow for time as well, group 1. So really beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below if you need a private read, anything like that. And if you want to contact me, if you're ever wondering about anything that I'm using and how to get a hold of it, again, these beautiful cards for In the Enchanted Embrace are right down here on the tin if you want to zoom in on that. And then also I'll always let you know too. So these are so beautiful. Thank you so much, Cherry, for these. I love these messages. When I was reading them before, I got so excited because I was like, these are perfect for like your future love. So now we're on to number 2, which is Athena knowledge. Right away I'm hearing that your future self is saying to you, you know, helping others is going to be a big part of you being successful. I feel like successful people constantly come up with new ways of helping others. Your long-term success is directly tied to how well you serve the community too, and I feel like that gives you a sense of purpose and love. And honestly, when I began this process, my second day is where I had a little funnel of clients come in, and awesomely enough, they asked me, Melanie, can you teach me what you're doing, like kind of life coaching? How do you delegate your time and you know, take your business into your own hand, bring it up to the next level, make sure that you're doing that and you're not sidetracked by other things, and teach me how to read tarot and all this. And it was so funny because I had just began televising all of that too. So I was teaching other people about the equipment. So as I was doing it, it was really unique to be able to share. And because of that, it made me more responsible with my time, because I thought, if I'm also teaching other people, I want to be very methodical and explain it very systematically to them. So it helped me organize. And I feel like that's part of what's going to help you. And also your future self wants you to know too that focus really is everything. If you never focus clearly on something, you'll never be 100% efficient at anything. Multitasking usually reduces your efficiency in dealing with each individual task. This is one of the highest knowledge templates that I have to delve into daily. I'm such a multitasker. I'm always trying to do 1 or 2 things at a time. And what I'm finding out is if I'm listening to one of my favorite readers, and I'm checking my emails, I'm reducing 50% of what I'm hearing just because my attention is divided. And we don't get to really savor that, slow down and love it. And it almost feels like instead of doing something we love, it almost feels like we're trying to rush through to the next thing. And why would we do that with something that gives us such enjoyment, right? Eating a meal. Why would we be eating a meal while we're trying to race down the highway? Or why would we be trying to read beautiful sentiments and our comments while we're also trying to watch a movie? It's one of those things as a society, we're always trying to double up and triple up. So your future self wants you to know, just slow down. You're going to be able to be much more productive with focusing because you have some really great ideas coming. And again, I love this too. I'm going to pull another card because I'm feeling... reverence. Pay reverence to yourself and respect your boundaries, your body, listen to yourself, slow down. Again, that analogy of the chessboard, really great chess players don't just make forward moves and go, 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 because they have to retreat and they have to pause and evaluate and seek sanctuary when they're too exposed, stuff like that. We need to pause and really have reverence. Like today, officially, I believe is the 75th year anniversary of Auschwitz closing, and I was watching that on the news and just looking at the faces and the reverence they were paying to one another, and when they were watching Auschwitz on big screens, all of that, I was like, it just caused like my whole inside, it was very weird. I can't even explain it because I do feel a strong past life connection with concentration camps. There's something about that when I worked at the bookstore, I couldn't read enough on it. And the stuff looked so familiar. The gas chambers, the yards, everything. So it was just one of those things where it's when somebody goes through something so inexplicably horror-ridden and frightening, it's like it amazes me, the human spirit, what it can push through, and the survivors of these things and the resilience of human capacity, and to pay reverence to that, because I feel like you're going to be stepping into something, and your future self wants you to know that when you have met with success, if you look back under that, really try to magnify what you did and the steps you took, and really pay reverence to yourself and congratulate yourself for doing that. You know, whether it was a really tough relationship you decided you had to let go, or whether it was where you really stood up for your boundaries and who you were, and that you were no longer going to accept breadcrumbs and ridiculous excuses anymore. Really, really allow yourself that hug, that, you know, that faraway hug that says you're amazing, you know. And also just believe you can. You must find the place, like, inside yourself where anything is possible. It starts with this dream. It becomes a reality with commitment and action, determination, time. You've got this. You're moving forward, and you're going to amaze yourself. Your future self and spirit is saying you're absolutely going to amaze yourself. Now, I want to hear what your future love has to say with you using Cherry's beautiful enchantment embrace cards. I love these so much. I feel like, yeah, with this screen, I have to hold it further away. So your future love is saying, I want to feel your touch. I feel like they're a very tactile, beautiful soulmate, and that just holding their hand or feeling your arm on their back or on their face or whatever gives them light, gives them energy, that, you know, you are sustenance to them, and just a touch from you is so reassuring. That's so lovely. That almost makes me want to cry. I love that. Cherry, you're such a cute little sentimental girl. I just want to know who I am. Oh, I just want you to know who I am. I was like, good one. Okay, so before meeting is taking place, your future soulmate is saying they just can't wait to be connected to you. They want you to know everything about them. They want you to know what they love, what they want to share with you, what they want to give to you, the life that you have planned together, the travel, the communication, the commitment. They want you to know that you are going to be their everything, that they just will never, ever lose sight of how beautiful and wonderful you are and how committed they want to be to you. I mean, that comes through very, very clearly. I feel connected to these cards as soon as I touch them. These are amazing. I can show you the world. When we are connected to the right energy source and the person that we're meant to be with, forget about any kind of fear. Forget about any lower vibration. Forget about any resistance to having your best life. Forget about any low vibrational anything. Everything is now you're climbing up that peak. They want to show you everything. They want to show you art and love and commitment and romance and affection on a really epic scale, and they cannot wait to do this, and they are on their way to you, and they want to show everybody, look at this beautiful, amazing specter of light that I'm able to spend time with, you know, and to pass through, you know, decades and be able to have beautiful experiences with. Very beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. So that is you guys, group 2 beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below for everything. If you have any questions on how to get Cherry's decks and cards or anything, you can just go to Cherry Enchantress. She's also on Instagram, and anything, you can always just contact me and I'll let you know too, because these cards are wonderful, wonderful cards. I'm so impressed. So you guys, that is you. So really take a moment and pause and reflect, where am I? Is this where I want to be? And just navigate. If you have to slow down and go in another thing, just know, you know, success is a journey of countless baby steps, not one superhuman leap, for sure. So gorgeous energy, group 2. So now we're on to number 3. Epona is saying wise leadership. A lot of you guys, your future self wants you to know that you'll be an excellent leader. You're an excellent speaker. Your power of persuasion, all of that is going to be huge. Initially, when people begin that process, there's a little unsteady confidence, or how can, you know, what could I possibly say or do that's going to be so highly persuasive, whether in work, within your family, and the words are just going to come. It's like you're just going to have this magi moment where the words come. This happened for me. I was like, I really have all these wonderful, substantial messages. They're constantly channeled in, but I didn't know how it would translate, you know, onto film and then onto YouTube and all of that. And I just kept hearing, just do it, just go. And you don't have to evaluate it. You don't have to critique it. Just let it flow, because inspiration and creativity comes direct through source. So we're just really a conduit. So it comes however it's going to come, and it's the most beautiful in its natural state. Like I never pause the camera and fix things and do whatever comes out, comes out. That's why sometimes there's, some weird stuff pops up, because it just is what it is. It's in the moment, and it's raw, and it's uncensored. And that's what you should do. Just whatever you're feeling from your heart is going to be the right choice. Again, I feel like your future self wants you to know that positivity is going to fuel all your productivity right here. Like success comes from positive energy. So you can choose to get caught up in negativity surrounding you, or you can decide to do something positive about your situation. We always have that choice. And I have to do this too. Like I'm not totally revved up every day to go to the gym, but my son loves it. He wants to go. And I understand that at any age, we need that great kind of cardio and for our strength, and mind, body, spirit is all connected. And I know this, and as a Sagittarius, if I'm dormant too long, I actually get cranky. So I tell myself, you're taking care of your heart, your vitality. This helps your mind, your brain, your channeling, everything about you. And therefore, it helps your productivity. It enhances how you interact with others in your families. And I get something positive from that, instead of going, oh, I'm going to be tired and sweaty and whatever. I don't think along those lines anymore. I talk myself into anything that I know is going to be productive and healthy by having that kind of mindset. And you're going to be doing that for yourself as well. And you're going to be able to really push forward in anything and be able to do things really smoothly and calmly because of that. So you also have, oh yay, Benzai Jen, which is saying, a lot of beauty is going to be coming through. Your future self is saying, don't worry if you think you're this on blossom flower, or you feel like you're lacking in any regard. Everybody has a unique beauty, and they really do. Everything to one person that's such an exotic beauty, a domesticated beauty, something that looks like, California's famous for his blonde hair and blue eyes and like suntanned kind of American beauty, right? Where if I see too much of that, and that's the standard, I feel like everybody looks the same. I love something different. You know what I mean? It's like, I like uniqueness. Like one of those things is, and that's not saying anything less blonde hair and blue eyes or whatever. I'm just saying that we all have unique beauty, and if nothing is a standard, so if we think we have to look a certain way, it's even better if we don't. We don't want to fit in a mold. We don't want to be like a Stepford wife. You're going to have this amazing beauty you're growing into. So if you feel at any time you look in the mirror, nothing, and beauty really is a kind of strange illusion. It doesn't really matter. If we are happy with who we are, and we are kind individuals, and we're loving, that shines through so much more. Just think about somebody who's very unpleasant that maybe you went to school with, and especially if they were very good looking, how quickly that what you once perceived as physical beauty now looks almost like fierce and hard and cruel and whatever, right? You ever see somebody that is saying or doing something that is not nice to somebody else? They take on a very unattractive aspect. Yet somebody that you wouldn't think as a traditional beauty is being kind and loving and doing something from their heart, they look absolutely stunning to me, right? Somebody who's so happy and laughing. When people laugh, they look so beautiful to me. I love laughter so much. That's why I love comedy. People just glow when they laugh. Their vibration goes up, and your future self is saying, you're so beautiful. Please recognize this within yourself, and don't try to go the route of micromanaging your life by trying to fix and tweak everything, by being too thin, by trying to micromanage what you put in your body to be smaller, or any of those things, or feel like you have to have a bunch of expensive clothes and materialistic things to be beautiful. It's actually the opposite. It's what's coming out of you and what you're producing and saying and creating that makes you beautiful. Nothing that you ever put on your back or on your face in terms of makeup or all of that. Your future self is saying you're just going to shine unbelievably, and your positivity is just going to have you be the focus of so many beautiful things. And again, be persistent, because as Winston Churchill said, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm, right? And that's going to be you. You're like, I don't care if that didn't work out. This is how I test things. I'm not going from novice to expert. I'm testing the waters. I want to know what works. And if you're in any kind of creative endeavor, that does take work, right? Like I was saying before, when I started my first pieces of jewelry, I could never ever get the clasps on right and to stay and have, because I would squeeze so hard that it would ruin the integrity of the wire, and I wasn't using the right tools until I really study and practice and practice. Now I can. Practice is what makes us have this beautiful progress. So, we've got to do that. And a river cuts through rocks because it's persistence over time. Same thing. That's how we get to our expertise. That's how we get to where we want to be. So now we want to find out what your future soulmate or future love is trying to say to you. I'm so excited. I love these cards so much, Cherry. You are so beautiful to me. A lot of your soulmates right now are seeing you in the dreamscape as well. They already have the envision process, and everything about you is so beautiful to them. The way that you hold their hands, the way you gesticulate, the way you move your hair in your head, the way you smile, everything is like just encompasses a world of magic and beauty to them. And it's just this kind of phenomena where everything is like a ballet dance. When somebody adores you, it's like this ethereal goddess or god like existence, because they love you for every fiber of your being on every level. And it's not about physicality, and it's not about what you can do for them. It is your absolute light and being and your soul. And it's so beautiful, and you are beautiful. And it says, I didn't mean to hurt you. Some of you guys, this is when there's delays. I feel in terms of your soulmates arriving, that some of you were really expectant at certain points in your life, and all of a sudden when it didn't come into fruition, and this is for twins as well, and when things didn't, hit that correct stride, that they're not trying to hurt you, they're not trying to cause you suffering in any way, shape, or form. Oh, your hair shimmers in the moonlight. So I feel like a lot of you have very dark, glossy hair. This is for a very specific group, and I do feel like it actually takes on this beautiful white or blue light. I'm seeing really lush, dark hair that really catches this light, and also the lighter hair, it turns almost silver, and they cherish that. It is crazy how much hair is such an attractor. It doesn't matter whether it's long or short. There's something, pheromones and all of that's so involved in hair, that it's such an element of beauty to people that behold it and that love you. It really is. The sheen, the way it moves, all of that. That's amazing. I love that. Now it says, now that I see you, everything is different. So when they first set eyes on you in the physical world, everything takes a shift. Which was once important is now trivial. It is like they don't have a care in the world. They don't care about that bill. They don't care about what somebody said to them yesterday. They don't care that Mike or Brian or somebody is constantly competitive with them or talking smack about them. All of that just dies away. It burns like embers. It's gone. Now that they see you, everything is different. Everything is brighter, warmer, clearer, crisper, happy, shiny. It just happens, right? Love is like a drop of pure sunshine just landing right in the middle of your heart, where it's so intense. It's like you want to cry and laugh. Your emotions just go everywhere, and everything is just intense on a really epic scale. So I love that so much. So that's you, group 3. I thought I'd just combine that, your future self and your future love, because it just seemed to really go. And Cherry's beautiful cards just arrived on my doorstep. So again, yeah, these are really amazing, you guys. And I'm going to do a flip through on Instagram if you want to come see me on Sparkwist11. I'll have some photographs. I'm going to photograph these for Cherry and send them over, because they're so meaningful and they're so lovely. She did such a great job. So congratulations, Cherry. And to you, group 3, if you need a private read or anything, all my links are down below. Love and light. I'm going to try to figure out how to, I tell you, I love cameras and nice equipment, but sometimes it's just like you really have to get to know it again. You got to focus and learn what's going on. So I'm loving that energy for you guys. Again, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and comment away what you think of Cherry's beautiful cards.